This podcast includes explicit language and sensitive topics that some may find offensive.
All views expressed belong to the individual speaking and not a representation of any entity that we have been, am now, or will be affiliated with. It's your chance to back out now.
That being said,
If not, enjoy the show.
Previously on the Black Man Misunderstood.
Because people look at us and they're like, you're a hoodlum, you're a thug. And it's like, yo, I am a product of what your folks left me in.
black man, misunderstood.
It's your boy Mike B.
In the neighborhood therapist. Welcome to the Black Man Misunderstood. Here we discuss topics about the black man that others are afraid to speak on. I am your host, the neighborhood therapist, the one and only, often imitated but never duplicated, and I am rocking with my brother, as always,
Mike B. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Always animated, man. Mike B. And this is season 3. Episode 14, Outgrowing People You Care About. Yes, I said that right. I said that right.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me, Mike. When you heard this title, bro, what type of energy did you feel was coming?
Bro, in all honesty, I'm just like, this conversation can go two ways. But in all honesty, it's probably gonna go one way.
What's the two ways? I'm interested.
So the first way, right, is a casual conversation. And just talking about the negatives and the positives about everything, about different relationships, and just speaking on the aspects of growing apart, things like that. But, we're gonna touch on that and just be nice and easy. Nah, I feel like we're gonna go option 2, where we're gonna just have mad fire sessions at different points and people not even gonna see them coming. They just gonna happen.
Man, without further ado, man, let's get into it, bro. Can I just ask a question, man?
Go ahead, bro.
Have you ever outgrown anybody that you cared about?
Oh, definitely.
You got a number?
Number?
Yeah, like a number of people?
I don't know if I could put a number on it because it's something you do. I think it's something you do naturally. I ain't even keeping count. I can think about the people who I were around at different points in time and be like, yep, nope, not anymore. Yeah.
Okay, so right, this is just a broad question, right? You don't have to label it to a specific person, but what happened and why are you no longer connecting with the individual like you used to? So I guess just pick somebody, but don't, make it so obvious where they hear the podcast and they come for you.
Bro, they ain't coming for me, please. If they ain't come for me season 1 and 2, they ain't coming for me this season. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I actually got a couple of individuals I can speak on this on. So I'm gonna speak on different aspects of these couple. So growing apart. So as you get older, some of your characteristics, some of your traits, some of the things you do change. But the core person of who you are does not.
Shouldn't.
And most people miss that.
It shouldn't. Yeah. Okay.
For the most times it shouldn't. And it won't, right? So I'm not saying there wasn't change in me. I'm just gonna say the core person who I was definitely didn't change. I was always the loudmouth, church going. What else? Loudmouth, church going.
Leo,
active, energetic.
Leo, say Leo.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna give you that, bro. You know me. Not trying to be the center of attention. Let me correct this. I was not trying to be the center of attention. If I end up being it, that's a different story. Because that's just how I carry myself. I don't put my head down for nobody. I stayed the same. And, I adapted here and there, right? But that core person of what I just described, still the same. Now, let's just say I've been told by some of these said people who I'm no longer speaking to on a regular that I was easily influenced, right? Didn't have a mind of my own, right? Or always knew I was loud and just was like, oh, you need to calm down. You need to calm yourself down. You have too much energy for me.
Is there, so based off of those three things that you just said, right? Is there any truth at all to them? Like, did you take a step back and consider what they were saying, or you just like, nah, that's BS?
Oh, I took a minute and thought about it. Okay. But then when I actually thought about it, I was like, is influence? No, Michael chose to do that. Like, people may have brought it up to me, but it wasn't like I didn't do it because I wanted to. It's like
you made a conscious decision.
I made a conscious decision and did it.
Gotcha.
Right? There's things that I know I've done that I'm like, ain't no one make me do it. I did it. So when I heard those words, I'm just like, how you think I don't do this? And let's just say this. It came back and showed me that these said individuals didn't really know who I was.
Does anybody ever really know anybody? Real question.
I would say fundamental. I say yes. I wouldn't say that the answer is no. Like, because like there will always, everyone has secrets about themselves that they may not tell the world, or they choose to hide, or it may be like one or two little things that most people won't know, right? But for the most part, that person, if you think they're gonna do something, or you're put in a situation and you think about how that person's gonna react, more times, in my honest opinion, I've seen like my close people, they reacted the way that I expect them to. And maybe a handful of times that they don't, but even still, for the most part, they do. It's like, I know people through and through. Like, take you for instance. There's some things that, like, when I think back on it, I'm like, oh, that makes sense that the neighborhood therapist did that. That's my boy. Why wouldn't he do that? You get what I'm saying? It's like, hey, like, you can be surprised, but when you actually think about it and think back on those situations, you'd be like, yo, that's who they are to the core. So you should be able to know other people more times than not. Like, you get those few rare cases where you see a complete left field and they just putting up a persona. Like, but that also goes back to, energy, ancestry and all that, and reading people's body language and stuff like that. You'd be able to tell when someone's not really exactly themselves. You get what I'm saying?
To an extent, because what I gotta ask you is, those people that you referring to, right? How didn't you see it in the beginning that these people weren't for you? And is it beef now that you don't rock with these people anymore?
Ooh, good question. So I don't think I have beef with too many folks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I would say sometimes it ends on a very bad situation. Others, it's amicable, it's mutual, all that good stuff.
So when y'all see each other, it's all love?
So it goes back to who I am as a person. You know me. I really don't hold on to grudges as much. But as a previous episode, I'm gonna forgive you, but I won't forget. You get me? Mm-hmm. But I'm not the type of one to harbor on that. I'm the one, all right, we can move on and be cordial or whatever you want and call it a day. I ain't gonna be the one with too many hard feelings. That ain't me. That just ain't me. And it's like, yeah, you did me wrong. I'm gonna keep you there. And that's about it.
Okay, that right there, that phrase, I'm gonna keep you there. So Do you cut off or do you give less time to? Because keep you there kind of confused me. What you mean by that? Are you cutting people off?
So
or are you hitting, you hey, listen, this how I contributed to people, bro. Are you using the scissors or are you hitting them with the Heisman Trophy? Which one is it?
All right. So there's individuals that you got to cut off, right? Because in life, you have to grow. Like, you have to grow. And when you level up, you can't just be stuck with the same old people on the bottom level that are stuck in that bottom level. I'm just telling you how it is. You have to level yourself up. You may meet new people. There may be people who were at that bottom level with you and rised up with you. You gotta cut people off because if you don't, it's gonna be a constant drain on your energy. And it's a drain on you. It's going to give you stress that you don't really need. So you have to cut some people off, but then there's others that you keep at an arm's length because, there's history, you do have that relationship, and it's not like they did something terribly wrong to you. They just not leveling up as fast as you are.
You want to know an interesting fact about me?
Go ahead.
I tell people all the time that I'll cut you off, but I never cut anybody off. I just put them, and this is going to be very, very wrong. I understand what I'm about to say is going to be very insensitive, but this is just my brain pattern. This is the way that I think. Anybody that I feel that has wronged me or had an issue with me, or we no longer are in that space that we used to be, I put them under a scope, and then I walk away from the scope in case I need to come back to the scope and press, the button, whatever you want to call it, things like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I keep people in the scope. I don't. To me, cutting people off, I understand, conserve your energy, but I can walk away from the process. But that's the Batman in me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know what all enemies are doing. But it's a detective. Yeah, but it's twofold. You got your perspective of it, like, you got to compensate the energy, and then you also got the scope. So I just implore people to do what's best for you, but above all else, boundaries. That's what we're really talking about. Can we get into it, bro? We talking about boundaries, bro. At the end of the day. Like, I done met so many people that don't understand what a boundary is. Like, oh, well, that's my mom. She gave me life. I got to keep giving her money. Who said? What do you mean? Yeah, now I'm gonna take it there. What's up? Can I speak? Can I talk?
Come on, bro. Come on, right? Bro. I'm ready.
And for those of you, that's like, oh, why the mama? All right, cool. Your daddy. Your daddy keep asking you for money, right? And you barely can pay your own bills. You barely can make it through, right? Yeah, we're gonna talk about it, right? Then you got to tell your parent, hey, listen, I love you, but no, I can't do this. I am the child, even though I am an adult. I can't provide for you and my family at this time. As much as we've been taught to do otherwise historically, right? But you got to take care of yourself. And I tell people all the time, like, yeah, they be like, just what you know, you ain't got no kids. Just hear me out, man. You can come holler at me another 10 years when I do have my kid already. You know what I mean? My goal, my duty as a parent, these are boundaries, is to raise my child to the best of my ability. Anything that happens to me after that, I become disabled or anything like that, it is not the obligation of my child to double back, put their life on halt to make sure that I am okay. That is a choice. It is optional, but the boundary is set. I'm going to be like, yo, child, I just want you to live your life because that's the purpose of me having you. Yep. You understand? That's how parents get to a place where they get cut off, because us as children, we don't really understand. We don't really know how to respond to it, because it's like, damn, I'm drained. I'm tired. But that's my dad. That's my mom. That's my cousin. You know what I mean? That's my abuela. Like, you be all over the place. Like, these are my people. I got to keep feeding into them. But my question is, are they feeding into you? Which takes me, right? Which takes me to my next segment, bro. The reasons we grow apart. These can be you growing apart from your friends, the homies, your loved ones, your ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, mom, dad, grandma, whatever, you name it. So I'm going to hit 3. I'm going to ask that you hit 3, and we'll just keep going from there, Mike. You cool on that?
Cool with me.
All right. So my first three unresolved issues. So every example I'm gonna give is just gonna be me and Mike, right? So if me and Mike always joke about this, Mike kicked me in like seventh grade, sixth or seventh grade. It was one of those, right? Yeah, he don't like talking about it. Mike got mad one day, right? And he kicked me. And he always says it didn't happen. We addressed it with Keisha. Keisha's like, that don't sound like Mike. I'm like, Keisha, listen, I understand you love your brother. You capping for your brother, okay? So
capping for me.
So
funny.
So in my world, in my reality, right? Mike kicked me because he got mad. So me and Mike, I want to say there was a time span of like, I don't know, 3 weeks or a month where we didn't speak after that. We were kids though, right? We didn't speak. And there was an unresolved issue of that. Can you imagine if that continued and we didn't speak? I don't know who broke the ice and finally spoke to each other, but that's not important. If me and Mike would have continued that, right, not speaking about that, would we be here today? So that's an important piece. It can be unresolved issues, things that. So and at the point, what was crazy about it was the funny part to me. Again, this is my reality. This is my perspective, right? Mike the next day didn't see a problem. Because I don't know if he didn't remember that he kicked because he got so mad, because Mike doesn't usually get mad. So when he got mad and he probably blacked out. I don't know. But he didn't remember. I remember this vividly. You attempted to speak to me and I was just like, the fuck? And I walked away from you. Most disrespectful thing in the world. I apologize. But I'm just saying. It happened, okay? And if we didn't resolve that issue, like, bro, how different it could be. We would have outgrew each other right there in that moment. And that didn't, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to address some things. And then sometimes what I'm alluding to now is some things don't get addressed. Because had you not been man enough to try to come talk to me that day, and we just never would have spoke about it, we just would have ended that right then and there. You kicked me and then that was it. Well, attempted to kick me because you didn't kick. You didn't actually hit me. So, you know what I mean? That's one of them things, right? The second thing a lot of people just don't be realizing that is that we grow. You sometimes don't have anything else in common.
Facts.
You understand? So case in point, again, I'm gonna keep using me and Mike. Me and Mike grew up, we loved football. That was our thing. As kids, that's what we used to go to. Like, bro, right 25, leg left. Like, we, you know what I mean? We would talk about plays, we would go hard, right?
Pick up a whole all of that.
Right. In 2022, Mike can barely get a football conversation out of me. Am I lying?
That is not a lie.
You know what I'm saying? It's because we've changed, we've grown. But me and you have come to the realization, like, damn, okay, we don't really have that in common anymore. Let's find other attributes that we have in common so we don't lose this bond. And I think a lot of people miss that, and you'll end up outgrowing somebody because you're still looking at them as the kid version. Mike has enough wisdom to go, just ain't into football no more. All right, we're going to talk about anime. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to find another topic to keep this relationship going and fruitful. Because you've gone from anime to sometimes we have business conversations. Hey, bro, how you feel about this type of insurance? You know what I'm saying? So it changes. You have to grow, right? So a lot of people, they just get stagnant. Like you said earlier, they get stagnant and they don't have anything in common anymore. My third one, you no longer enjoy being around this individual. Yo, this is such...
Stepping on cords with this one, bro.
This is such an important one, bro, okay? Listen,
yes, sir.
I grew up with Mike since 5th grade, okay? But when I got to sophomore year, I guess, junior year, junior year, somewhere in there, me and Mike stopped talking for a while. Like, I would check up on him, but it wasn't the same. And Mike alluded to this in episode 3 when he was talking, when my mother came on the show. He was just like, there was a time where I didn't speak to Just that like as much as I used to. Right, I peeped it. I caught it. Okay, and that wasn't because we hated each other. That wasn't because he went to Tech and I went to East Side. Like it wasn't a school rivalry or anything like it. It was just time. It was different. He was around a different set of people. I was around a different set of people. You know, and it was just different. Like I was fully engulfed in, as I call it, street shit. You know what I'm saying? Mike was fully engulfed in, scholarships. Like I was trying to say, man, listen, me and Mike were separated from the bit. It wasn't that we were beefing. It wasn't that it was a problem. It's just that, dare I care to admit, I don't think we enjoy being around each other anymore. I'm here to say it. I'm not gonna say that I was consciously like, I can't stand Mike, I don't want to be around him. It's just that Mike was, to me, right? I'm only speaking for myself. Mike was very much on empowerment, knowledge, elevating, football. He was going so hard in football. Whereas me, I was like, football is a hobby. I'm doing this to hurt people. I'm just being honest with you. Okay. I think that's when the shift started happening with football, by the way. I was into boxing. Yeah. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
I'm into boxing. I got me a little girlfriend. You know, I'm not as concerned with what happens after high school as I felt Mike was. And it wasn't a conscious thing like, I don't want to be around Mike. It's just, we were on two different trajectories. Or so I thought. Because all roads, like Thanos said, leads back to this. The black man misunderstood. But those are my three.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To add on to your last point before you go, I think, honestly, I think that was just us trying to figure ourselves out. I don't even think we were purposely trying to not be around, or we no longer enjoyed being around each other. I think it's just us. That was a part of us growing up, experiencing the world. But back to where we was at. All right, their problems make you feel like you're drawing in negativity all the time. I am a witness to that one for sure. I like the neighborhood therapist has said, I'm gonna use him as an example, even though technically I can't really think of anything that was really negative energy wise from him. But just an example, like. I could have took his not loving football as much as a bad sign and just kept going a little ways. Like, I'm going to the game, bunk him. I ain't gonna call him about Super Bowl. I ain't gonna invite him over. I ain't gonna call him on Super Bowl, man. He too annoying. Bunk him and his Ravens. You know, he Raven fan. But no, it could have went way left. And then he could have been complaining about any and everything. Complaining how he left Jersey to go to Texas. Right. Complaining about his school. Complaining about the women he was dealing with at the different points in time. Like, all that stuff could have been really negative, where that didn't really affect us. But I'm just giving you an example. Like, those are all negatives. Like, there was things that the neighborhood therapist came to talk to me about, which was a negative problem. And like, anybody else would probably brush them off and be like, yo, bro, you just need to cut that and move on. Or if he keeps complaining about it, like, bro, I ain't dealing with you. Come talk to me when you out of it. Now, I was there through thick and thin. I had his back. But that's only one. Two, you can't be yourself around them. This one here hits home for me. Because the crazy thing is, like, Mr. Therapist.
I'm listening.
I know there's one individual we've talked about this through and through, about how I wasn't completely myself, and I didn't realize it till later. The fun, energetic, loudmouth Mr. Mike persona was not coming full through. It'll come out at bits and pieces, but it took me leveling up for it to be out all the time and realize that person was making me act a different way. Yeah.
I ain't got no words. I'm listening, bro.
Right. And then the last but not least, effort and time are not equally given.
Ooh, elaborate.
So me and Mr. Therapist, right? I'm always calling him. I'm always coming to see him. I'm always buying him stuff. He never calls me back. He never comes to see me. He never buys me anything. Not saying it's a tit for tat, but it's the effort.
Right.
It's the effort. Like even right now, my brother over there, he buy me something, send it to me. I don't even know that he bought something from me. And that's his way of doing it. Me, I make a whole big spectacle about something. I'm like, yo, bro, we gotta make this trip. Gotta make it happen. You gotta be there. I don't care. No ifs, ands. I make the time to plan it to get us together. So like that's the way me and the therapist connect. I plan the trips. He sends the gifts. Sometimes I do send the gifts back, and sometimes he plans the trips on his own. It's effort. Like and then this goes for you young bucks out there. If you listen to the podcast with your girlfriends or boyfriends and in betweens and everything else, if that individual ain't trying to make the effort to come see you and you spending all your money to go see them, reevaluate that friendship. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, effort and time is not equally given. And I can tell you this, that is something you have to continually monitor as you get older, especially once you find your significant other, the individual you want to spend the rest of your life with, and look how your, not your circle, not your square, your rhombus reacts. And that will tell you everything you need to know. You got to look at how your rhombus reacts, because they will tell you if time and effort is being given equally. And the time and effort can also tell you if you're in the right relationship or not. But we're talking about outgrown people that deal with. You may need to cut the person you're with to continue growing the proper way with the people you've always been growing with. Just adding that caveat.
Okay. Respect. Now, we've been talking about the nicey nice of it, the surface level of it, how to do it, when to do it, why, reasons. But we need to get into something that people don't want to smoke with. This is why we here. This is why Black Man Misunderstood is one of the dopest podcasts today. I'm not being humble about it. I said what I said. But anyway. Okay. All right. Mike, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go after you. I need you to think to somebody. Yeah. We here. I need you to think about somebody that you left behind, right? And like somebody super important to you. And describe the emotions that developed when you knew it was time to leave them behind. We don't talk about that enough, bro. Like we make it sound like, social media makes it sound like, cut them off. Ain't nothing to cut them off. Yes, it is, bro. I've been with this person for 10, 15 years. What you mean?
Facts.
This is my goon. This is my ace. Like, bro, from me to you, right? I'm gonna let you go. I don't like Kodak Black. I like certain songs of him, but a lot of songs I just can't really get jiggy with, right? Super Gremlin, fam. We could have been superstars. Now you just I felt that in my soul, bro, because there's people to this day that I'll see and I'll be like, all you had to do was stick to the plan. If you wanted to adapt to the plan, present an adaptation to the plan. But you chose instead to come for me or kick my back. And it's just like, bro, I ain't gonna go too deep into it. It's Mike's turn. Mike, please. Because you know me, bro. I'll go too far, bro. Please.
Emotions, man.
Yes.
Bro, haywire. It's a haywire effect. Because it's someone you love. It ain't even just, it's someone you love. And people need to understand that part. Like, you grow up with your friends, like, you may not say it in the beginning, I love you, blah, blah, blah. But as time goes on, you develop a love with them where you don't see your life without those individuals. Someone you have to leave behind, and they've been along the journey for that part, or you gotta, like we say, give them the Heisman, or just, like the Mr. Therapist like to say, put them in a scope. We're telling you how to deal with it, but in the moment, you're not thinking about how to deal with it. You're not realizing how to deal with it. You're just going through your emotions of how you felt all the happiness, all the good times, all the bad times. It stings. You gotta think. I think about it like losing a parent.
Like that, Mike?
It has to be like that. Think about it like this.
You gotta explain that, Mike, because that's a sensitive topic for you, bro.
It is a sensitive topic, but you gotta think about it like this. Losing a parent, right? All your life, that parent's been there, right?
Right.
You were in the womb or skeeted out, you know how that goes. Make the baby. Been around your father or your mother all your life. And they abruptly leave you at a point and you don't think you're ready. And to be frank, most individuals, when it comes to their parents, are not ready when it's their time to go. They may say that they're ready, but they're not. Because the emotionals will go haywire. Because it's like, it's unexpected. One. Same thing when it comes time to leaving someone behind. You don't know when it's going to happen. Two, like I said, you think about all the good times. Three, good times, the in-between times, and then the bad times. You think about those too. Four, they were always around, and now they're no longer there. It's an issue of abandonment, or it's feeling like abandonment, but it's not. When it comes to losing a parent, when it comes to leaving someone behind, it's not really abandoning them. I look at it as either bettering yourself or it's just time to separate. So that's why I say it's like losing a parent. It stings because it's unexpected. You think about all the good and the bad times. You go through all those different emotions. Like, this is a sense of abandonment. Like, how are you supposed to continue on? They've been this part of your life all this time, and now they're no longer there. Bars.
Straight bars. I don't know if I can even respond to that after you went, but I'm gonna attempt. I'm definitely gonna attempt.
Come on now.
I'm gonna attempt. For me, I gotta agree with a lot of the things you're saying, man. And to add to that, man, just some emotions that I think I attributed to was pain and disloyalty. Cause I'm for people that actually are around me, they understand that I'm super loyal to a fault. Like it's one of my flaws, honestly, bro. Like, you can get me jammed up if you come, a little too hard for somebody that I love. Now, let me be very clear. I understand it's a podcast. I understand I got people that do not like me. Let me be very clear. Let me say this one time only. Don't attempt that, because I won't stop. And I'm not laughing. I'm not being funny. Ha ha. I'm just being very serious. I know what I'm saying. I'm dead serious. Don't do it. I will not stop. Okay. But like, back to the podcast. Okay. Because the emotions that you contribute to that, especially for somebody like me, like, I love hard. I'm a lover by nature. So if I call you my brother, Mike is not related to me by blood, but y'all heard him on the podcast with my mother. My mother called him son. Her son. She meant that. That's not a word she usually just loosely throwing that out there. She mean that. I think she grabbed you one day and was like, Michael. She went off on you one day. You look at her like, what in the world? Like, we come from that community of each one teach one. Shoot, Keisha at one point grabbed me up, was like, what you're not gonna do, and boom, 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 went off. I remember this. I remember this. You understand? So, and it's no love lost. Like, I appreciate moments like that. But could I ever imagine, right? And I'm not going to use Keisha or my mom, but like, take that same understanding. Like, we had an elder in our life that they do that, and then they come and they backdoor you and they talking filthy about you to people that don't matter. People in the streets and things like that. You have my number. Address it. I do you one better, Mike. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's talk about the emotions of you being around people, right, that you love. You've given them your last, right? And they hit you one day randomly in October in 2021, right? I'm not taking shots at anybody. I'm just saying what it is, right? Let's not use October. Let's use, I like April. Let's use April. Okay. April 2021, right? And they hit you with a, yo, you think you could hit me with X, Y, and Z? and your response is, yo, I really don't got it right now. Like, usually I got you, boom, 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 right? But then they hit you with you ain't looking out. You changed. This is not. And it's like, yo, I think about so many songs, and it's like, yo, like, I'm an issue because I said no out of the million times that I said yes. And then, right? So, that's one situation to bring up. But when that situation occurs multiple times, and they asking you for money, they asking you for time, they asking you for energy, like Mike B said earlier, they're not reciprocating that. You got to ask yourself, like, yo, what am I getting out of this relationship? And that takes me to my next thing, Mike. This is what humans don't like to do, bro. They like to say, oh, I'm a good individual, I'm not selfish. And I'll be like, you're lying. Everybody in the world that exists is selfish. Okay. Everything that you do is for survival. Yeah, Mike, you can stop me when I'm lying. Everything that we do as humans is meant for our own individual survival. So if you go to the store and you purchase food, you're purchasing food so that you can eat and survive. So if there is a mass shortage of food, wink, wink. If there's a mass shortage of food, I'm here. Okay. And you go into the store, right? And there's 3 apples left, but there's 5 of y'all. Naturally, you're going to attempt to grab the apple. Now, depending on how selfish you are, you might grab 1 apple because you need the apple for you and your family, and you'll cut it into pieces, right? But if you are one of those people that's a survivalist, that take it a little bit too far, you're going to grab about 3 of them apples. I said 5 apples, right? So you're going to grab...
You said 3 originally for 5
originally? People. Oh, well, yeah, 3 for 5 people. Yeah, so you're going to grab about 2. And you might be greedy. You might take all 3. We're selfish as individuals. So when you look at it like that, right? I'm selfish because I require energy and time of Mike. And there's nothing wrong with that because Mike and reciprocation is going to require that from me. But the problem becomes when I start to be giving out Mike way too much energy, way too much time. He's not valuing my time. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell Mike, like, yo, bro, I got a client. Like, let me hit you back. Well, no, bro, this is more important. Bro, what you talking about? Is it life or death? Well, no, I just want to talk to you about, the color of my shoes. Bro, I got a client. Like, this is my money. This is my lifeline. Well, you don't really love me, bro. Like, when an individual do that to you, you gotta be like, yo, my man's is wilding right now, right? And here's the part that they don't talk about. Is he tripping right now? Is he going through a mental health concern? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta take the steps and go, what's wrong? But after a while, if this behavior continues, you got to come to the realization that maybe kind of sort of this person never really truly cared about you like that. The way you thought. And that
right on top of its head,
bro. And that understanding right there is what, to me, I'm going to speak for myself. There's been moments I had to take a knee in my own home and just let a tear shed because I'm like, yo, as a Gemini, okay, I said what I said. I put people in a scope, okay? But the other extreme to that, when you put me in a position where it's like, yo, wow, you really want to take this there? Yo, it's a lot of people I grew up with that are dead and they still breathing. You understand? You could never fix your mouth to say something to me, bro. It gotta be a head nod and keep it pushing. But as far as us having a conversation about anything enlightening, unless the Lord, Yeshua HaMashiach, come down itself, and it's just like, yo, I need you to stop being so hateful in your heart to do X, Y, and Z. Yo, but we don't got no conversation, fam, because in my mind, you died circa 2015. I'm just saying.
Yo, what's up, boy? Oh boy.
I'm done. You got it, Mike.
Look, and you were afraid to go after me. You always do this.
Go ahead, Mike. You got it, man. You got the floor, man.
Nah, bro. It's that. It's right there, man. And people don't realize how often that happens. Don't realize how often
too much. especially in our culture. Too much.
And let you leave your hometown to see what happened. Everyone that was calling you don't call you no more. So you said we were being selfish, right?
Right.
Yes, we are selfish.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thing, though.
It's a good thing. No, it's not bad. But now the only thing is the last feeling that we haven't really talked about. How do we avoid the guilt when we leave that person behind?
Well, before we answer that question, another question is, have you ever experienced guilt from leaving somebody behind?
And it's more so, it's like, wow, you could have been with us here and here, but you ain't doing what you need to do it. You get me? Mm-hmm. So I feel guilty because I'm as your brother, because I care about you. I want you to level up with me. But at the same time, I got to do what's right for me and be smart and not overextend myself, that I'm actually being a hindrance to my growth just to hold you up where you at right now.
So your original question is how to avoid the guilt from leaving this person behind. Okay. Yep. So these are my instructions. These are my instructions alone. That don't mean anybody got to follow them. I'm just telling you what I do. Okay. Step 1, play race murder. This could be us, what you playing. Okay. That's number 1. Be petty at all times. Okay. 1, right? And you're going to feel guilty, right? But you're going to feel a little bit better. Money make the world go round. Money make your girl go down. You know what I mean? You listen to the song, you vibe, right?
I can't.
You're vibing, right? And
sip some water on this.
But all seriousness, bro, pick a song, right, that gets you upbeat, makes you feel better about the situation, right? And then I want you to reflect on what has happened. And I want you to go through the memories, go through the great times, go through the terrible times, go through everything in between. And then you have to realize that God, the universe, whatever it is that you are coming as your energy source, it doesn't make mistakes. People are going to come into your life. And I'm going to give y'all, some free game because I know that this is what she would want. So shout out to Queen Chandra. And she said people are going to be roots or leaves in your life, right? And you are a tree. You are just a moving tree in your life. And now we here. Let me finish. Let me finish, Mike. So in life, right? You are a tree. And the only difference between you and the tree is that you can move in life. You're not stuck in one place, right? And people are going to be either a root or a leaf in your life. The roots, what are their job? Their job is to nourish you and keep you planted, keep you grounded. So through a hurricane, you ain't going nowhere. You might lose a branch, but you're going to still be here as a unit, as a tree. A leaf, on the other hand, is not even a branch. It's I don't know if it's a flower or an organism. I don't know. I'm not scientific into all that, but it's something attached to you that nourishes you for a season. Bars. Hold on. Let me hit somebody with this rewind real quick. Chop stars, right? Go ahead, chop this real quick. Okay. Go ahead, Daxter. Chop this up real quick. Okay. A leaf is somebody, an individual in your life who nourishes you, gives you what you need in the season. And then when the season arises, it withers and it falls. And then they wither away. The tree. Let me ask a question, Mike, and I want you to answer this. Does the tree mourn the loss of its leaves? Bars, by the way.
Nah.
It doesn't. Why not? And how do you know? It grows new ones. But how do you know it doesn't mourn? So I'm one of those people, right, that I come off, as a super aggressive, super gremlin guy, right? But I'm actually very emotional. I'm actually very in tune with nature and my body and other people's bodies. I'm an empath, right? I feel like trees grieve the loss of their leaves because how could they not? It's a piece of them that fell. You nourished me for a whole 2 seasons, and then you're falling. Yes, I'm coming to the understanding that I'm gonna grow new ones, right? And I'm not being insensitive when I say this. I accompany that to no different than when a parent loses a child. I'm going to mourn that. I'm going to grieve that. I also have an understanding that I may be able to have another child, but it's not the same. So I'm saying all that to say this. It's okay to mourn. It's okay to feel away. It's okay to be sad in the moment. You just can't stay in that season. Guilt has no responsibility, being, or any type in you going through the process of securing your future. Because those people, even if you feel like they didn't have the same opportunities you did, I know you. I'm talking to you, the listener. I know you. You got a big ass heart. You've been giving back. And this person has been taking and taking and taking. Set your boundaries and either cut them off or put them in a scope and walk away from it. The beautiful thing about having someone in the scope is that when you finally do get into a position where you're better off in life, you can always come back around in the train and slow down the train. Do not stop your train. Hear what I'm saying. Slow down your train. Open the caboose door. Yeah, I'm going old school, right? Slide the caboose door open and be like, yo, what's good with it, man? Jump on the train. We're not going to stop, though. So you're going to have to run for it. All right? You're going to run for it. I'm going to stick my hand out and I'm going to help you up on this train. Now, you missed out on all the coal that we had to put in here to get this plane from coal. I mean, this train from coal to, aerial train and, technology, right? You missed all the hard work. But because I got this big heart, I double back. I had to come back around the hood anyway, but I double back. Now, let's just say me being nice. I double back for you because I want you to feel good. I don't want you to be left alone, bro. Come back. Like, I got you. Like, just run to get the train. You know what these ignorant fools will say to you, Mike? Oh, you big time. Yo, you big time. Why you can't just stop the train? Almost cursed. Listen, man. Listen. To people like that, I'm talking to the listeners. To people like that, you have to just let them be. And sometimes the train is going to circle around them 5, 10, 15 times. And because you got a big heart and you love this person, it's going to break your heart. It's going to bother your soul. But you got to do this because the other 100 people that actually reciprocate back into you do not deserve what it is that you're attempting to do, which is give all your energy to this one individual who don't care nothing about you. And then we, the people that care about you, have to sit and deal with you as a withered up human being. You over here looking like Zordon and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That shit ain't fair.
Ooh, bro.
I'm sorry, I had to get my therapist back. This is the type of shit I'll be on, by the way.
Bro.
Holla at me.
Bro.
I'm done. I'm backing away from the mic, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
I think we answered all the dang questions for the night. That last one, I think we've been giving gems all night about how to do it properly.
How to outgrow somebody properly?
Yeah, and the proper answer is that you have to go through it.
Right.
You there is no magic box like, boom, this is how you do it. Nah, you have to go through it. Because like you said, you just said it. You can always double back when you got it all together. And just to be frank with you guys, you gotta have it 100% together. Not all of us. Like, come on now. These top millionaires and billionaires, they must not have it all together because they divorcing their wives left and right. So that's a whole other story.
Yeah. And I want to be clear.
That's a whole other story.
I want to be clear. When I say double back, I don't mean go backwards. I mean life is a cycle. Life is a cycle. Nothing is different under the sun. Just technology changes, but it's the same people. They've just aged through different decades. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into philosophy. Okay. You can argue me, whatever. I don't care. I know what I'm saying. We are the same people that we were 100 years ago. We just got wiser. Allegedly. I said what I said. But allegedly. The train eventually has to go from A, B, C, D into Z. And then after Z, there's no ZZ or ZA. It goes from Z to A. It happens. That's what happens. So eventually the train comes around. Just make sure that when you on your train, it's not the same train that they left. They decided not to get on your train. They said your train wasn't good enough because you had a couple of wheels that was raggedy, didn't have some oil. They decided to leave at the station. Stay there at the station. Facts. So you left at a time where you were a locomotive and you had to use coal to keep your engine running. And then you upgraded as you went. You got smarter. You found people that got on your train, showed you different ways. And now you got the speed train. And now you just sped yourself back to your hood, your block, your suburban, whatever. And now this individual was still sitting there. And they're like, oh, yo, wow, that's a nice train, bro. How about you stop it, man? Let me get on. I love you. I'm not going to stop it. I'm going to slow it down for you. You just got to run and jump. But I'm going to catch you. And then they're going to hit you with the nonsense. All right, well, you got to make a decision, kings and queens, and everybody in between. Outgrow these people properly. There's no guilt. There's no shame. This is about your boundaries. It's about your life. It's about your love. This is about you raising a family for you. And even if you don't want to raise a family, this is about your well-being. Live as long as you can. Live fruitfully as you can. Practice love, peace, and harmony. And you're going to be all right. All right, I'm gone.
Bruh. The only thing I would like to add is when it comes to marriage, you gotta outgrow people because you're dealing with one person for the rest of your life. Can't be dealing with everybody like you need to.
They
you
can't
want
get
a happy home. That's all I got to say.
They can't get that this episode. Another episode. And like that, we gone.
Yes, sir. See y'all next week.
What up, listeners? Mike B here. Hope you enjoyed the episode. You can find us on IG at BMM_podcast. On TikTok at BMM Podcast. Facebook, just type in the Black Man Misunderstood Podcast. And then you can find the Neighborhood Therapist at the Neighborhood Therapist on IG. And you can find myself at MikeB_BMM on IG. And if you want to connect with our producer, the DJ himself, Mr. DJ Daxter, check him out at DJ Daxter on IG. All right, folks. See y'all next week.